right, welcome back, Will, to another episode of the Hollywood Kippax podcast, the number one Manchester City podcast on Instagram. I'm your host, the co-host, Alex Miller. Joining me, as always, is Will Lopez. Will, what do you make of City's 2-0 win against Chelsea to open up the Premier League season?
Beautiful. Beautiful, goddammit. And not only that, but we're finally back in week one of the EPL, finally talking about it on the podcast. Phew, phew,
Yeah.
phew, phew, phew.
You done now. Uh, a 2-0 victory for City away at Chelsea. So just as a statistic, City is 2-0 against Chelsea in the month of August and has scored 6 goals on aggregate against 6-2 goals on aggregate. If you're also counting the fact that City beat Chelsea 4-2 at the beginning of the month at the Ohio State Stadium that we were present for.
Yes,
So
sir.
uh, the game didn't go to our predictions that we were predicting in Ashwhoop, but it was
Yeah.
still a pretty solid 2-0 victory. So, well, let's just like get right into it. So,
Let's get it.
what stood out to you in this game against Chelsea?
Mr. Savinho. Goddamn. We finally get to see him let go, like be himself on the pitch with the number 26, with the home city jersey on, and it was just beautiful. Performance performance wise was great. He did get a little knock, but that's the part that we were talking about. Is that if Savinho were to fucking get hurt or had to step out, who do we have? None other but Phil Foden. You know what I mean? So these
Yeah,
subs, it's beautiful. It's fucking beautiful the way they subbed it out. But
yeah,
yeah, man, it was great.
yeah. There were quite a few knocks going on during the game. I believe KDB was subbed off, right, because of a knock.
That was a scary one. That was a
Yeah,
scary one.
that's just like, yeah, like every time, KDB collides with someone, and he's down on the ground, it's like, is this going to be season-ending injury? You know what I mean? Once again for Kevin De Bruyne, like
Yep.
where we lose him again. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
but we were live streaming this game on Sunday, and to be honest, we were, we vibe and we watch the game, but we like kind of, talk to each other and go off on tangents. Sometimes we're not even like really like paying attention to the game too much. But what I can remember is that there's really no complaints about City's. I really had no complaints about City's performance at all. I think it was a pretty solid performance from start to finish.
Yes.
And there's just a lot to like about a lot of different parts of this lineup. Halong scoring the opening goal of the season. You love to see it.
Love to see it.
Uh, uh, Kovacic scoring a blinder in the second half, very Rodri-esque. We didn't have Rodri, which, by the way, this is City's first win without Rodri since January 2022.
Damn.
Without having Rodri in the lineup, so first win since January 2022.
Very
So,
nice.
stepping up, scoring a goal. Doku, same thing. You know what I mean? Carving him out, uh, getting more into himself. Savino, it goes around. The comparison's been already going around, but I definitely think it's valid. You know what I mean? Like he is very much of a Riyad Mahrez like player. You know what I mean? You could
Yes,
find him.
sir.
One thing I liked is that he got into the wide areas and was fighting the inside pass into the box.
Yeah.
That just
Yeah.
reminded me of Riyad Mahrez. So it's not just like a number thing on this jersey that makes me recall Riyad Mahrez. It's just like he was playing in a similar style, and you gotta love to see it. So,
Hell
um,
yeah.
you know, hopefully, much more of that to come. Yeah,
Somebody though, somebody else says I was impressive was the back right, which was Rico Lewis, dude.
yeah,
Just taking care of Kyle Walker's duties beautifully, dog. He fucking played such a well game too. Oh man, everybody got down, dude. Everybody
yeah,
got down.
yeah. So there were certain players that were left out of the lineup. Rodri, obviously on suspension. Walker, not sure what he was out with. I'm not sure if it's injury or just not being fit or whatever for to play.
Yeah.
Not fit for selection. But definitely Rico Lewis held it down for City. But I think one of the headlines of the game is Holland murking on Mark Cucurella and Mark Cucurella
Cacarela.
just Cacarella becoming a butt of the joke now that he started
Oh yeah.
initially. You know what I mean? And it just seems like the layers that you peel back of that story, and with Holland coming out saying that Mark Cucurella last season asked for Holland's shirt and then goes out and does sings that meme song about Holland and Holland Trem, uh, but
Mm-hmm.
uh, but now he gets sufficiently murked on by Holland. Chelsea lose at home to City, and um, you know, looking foolish. You know what I'm saying? What can be said about this Chelsea team that
Too
was on
many
the
heads.
to
Way too many heads. Too much talent in the way of itself.
for sure? Yeah, it's a good way of putting it. You know what I mean? Like, uh, plenty of the full, plenty of people in the squad. Cole Palmer was there. Uh, so many players were there. But City just are already playing like they're in mid-season form. You know what I mean? This is a very strong. It was a very strong start for City. So, who was the man of the match? I'm guessing it was
I would go
Kovac
for Haaland
Holland. Okay.
just because he stamped it. He stamped it with his cleat on Cacarela's face and said,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, there's no reason you should have came at me, bro.
Yeah. Uh, but I think a fan favorite was, I mean, definitely argue Kovacic as well. Let me see the stats real quick of this City matchup.
If you say Nico Riley, I'm gonna fucking have something to say to you, bro. Cause you love that guy.
No. Oh yeah, Nico Riley for sure. I thought for some reason I thought you said Nicholas Jackson. I'm like, huh?
Oh no.
So I mean, pretty even possession, 52-48. Let's see, pretty even. You know what I mean? Um, but I definitely like Kovacic's performance. Hopefully he continues to settle into that role because I feel like a lot of players at the end of last season were starting um to settle into positions like Gvardiol, Doku, Kovacic were finally starting to show that they were settling into the squad, right?
Yeah.
And so hopefully more of that settling in this season and seeing what we could do there. But do you have George out up in the chat, George? Good evening.
Mr.
And George
George.
George is asking though, who's in first place in fantasy?
Hey, shout out to George Galdapa in first place in the Hollywood Kippax League fantasy league because this dude killed it, bro. He's killing it, and right now he's in first place out of 16 and out of 14. And guess who's in 14th place? Me.
You, you, my
Oh,
boy.
dude, I fell asleep through the draft and I let the computer do it for me, dude. So now I gotta start fixing some pieces, but it'll be all right, man. Don't worry, George. I have a good feeling about George winning the league, dude, because I think he landed Halan and he's happy about that.
Yeah, whoever has Halon pretty much wraps it up. You know what I mean? Has the league wrapped up.
Yeah,
I'm the same way too. I was at a funeral when the draft was happening, and like I was like this close to pulling some like league shit by like having my phone out and like doing the draft. You know what I mean on the sly. But
fucked
I
up.
was like, no, my girlfriend would definitely get pissed at me if I did that. So I like held off on that, and I was just like, oh well, I just let the computer pick whatever I'm at. But I think
That's fine.
I'm sitting like sixth or seventh right now, DJ Stonesy. So it's not bad, not a bad pick, not bad at all. So I gotta maybe make some trades.
Yeah,
Yeah, I barely even saw what I was who was in my lineup, but I can't complain. I'm not At least I'm not last. But
yeah. But shout out to the
so
other 14 opponents in the league. We'll see
yeah,
who wins it at the end.
I forgot where I saw Cameron. I don't know where Cameron was sitting at the table, but yeah.
Oh, the
So
Millage people.
the Village people, yeah. So yeah. So Hollywood Kippax League. Uh, but I think what's really dominated today's news though is Gundawan, the Gundawan news. Have you been
Yes,
tracking
sir.
this? Well,
Yes, sir. Yes, I have.
so how do we
Captain Clench.
Captain
Yeah.
Clutch. So like, I mean, this, this was confirmed by Fabrizio Romano that City have made formal contacts with his camp, but uh, I mean, I don't. This would be huge. This would be a huge pickup. I mean, City have had a pretty meh summer window. I mean, we picked up Savino, we've made some loans and got some players and stuff. But there's kind of nothing much to do about nothing in this lineup. There wasn't really too many pickups, but with getting Gundogan at the end of this um, window for sure will change things up for sure. This, getting Gundogan back will definitely make some changes. How do you think? I mean, so Gundogan obviously was the captain of the treble team, went to Barcelona, comes back. This team is a different team, but how do you think Gundogan will fit into this new team?
Oh, perfectly, dude. Not only is he was he the captain, but he was a mentor for the young guns. You know what I mean? He was like the example, and he set the example. Winning us the league and just being that guy. Stepping up when Kevin De Bruyne was hurt. You know what I mean? Like the guy's fucking awesome. And the thing is that he went to a shit show in Barcelona, and his role wasn't respected. You know what I mean? He was there to be like, hey, you know what? We need the experience. We need to set our minds on the goal. We gotta fucking win games. We gotta. And to him, it was like it's just a bunch of immature motherfuckers that just want to look cool on Instagram and TikTok, and it just wasn't working out for him, dude. He was embarrassed week in and week out, dude. You know what I mean? So for him to be coming to City, oh, I bet you he's counting the fucking minutes and the seconds, because he's coming back to what he knows and coming back to discipline and just he has the mentality of a coach. So that he needs to be in this Pep system because that Barcelona stuff was not working out for him, brother. It was fucked up. They sent him out there.
Yeah, I mean, it was a weird um, sojourn, I guess, to Barcelona for a year after winning the treble. You know what I mean? And there was a lot of speculation that City players would leave after accomplishing the treble, like, job done, move on to the next challenge. And Barcelona is a pretty fraught organization. They have a lot of financial problems,
Oh yeah.
and they're letting Gundogan walk for free. So this is a perfect opportunity to bring him back into the fold. And George Aldapa brings this up. If Gundogan comes, which player is getting benched?
It's not about that. It's about how much depth do we have in the bench, dude? How many squads do we have? This weekend alone, we showed that we can win without Rodri. We showed that we can win without Kyle. We showed that we can replace Phil Foden on the fucking right side. You know what I mean? It's we have a lot now. We have the pieces to fucking win games now. You know what I mean? These kids did fucking awesome in the preseason. Sure, we didn't win every single game, but we showed that we're ready for the season, bro. You know what I mean? And it sucks about Oscar Bob because that was one main piece that I really wanted to see. But we filled that with Savio, and look what Savio did on his fucking first game. And the smart thing is that he got a little knock, and Pep took him out because that's money right there.
Hmm.
So, and like I said, you take him out, and who do you put? Phil Foden. Oh, bro, we're in good hands, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like that point. It's that it's not really about who gets benched, who's going to be playing in the first squad, but City is competitive in so many different competitions. You know what I mean? And I think obviously the top two are the Champions League and Premier League, and uh, having so many different kind of lineups that we can play is going to be important. Like Kovacic, like I was gonna respond Kovacic like as a knee jerk reaction, you know what I mean? Because he was someone that we brought in because of Gundogan's absence, you know what I mean? Like he was the one that we brought in, but but like yeah, you bring up a fair point. Like it's not about who's fighting for what in the first team squad, like who plays on any given day or in the Premier League, but it's about rotating the squad and that Gundogan's going to bring more depth. But I think this is definitely going to change the level of play, only for the better though, because Gundogan likes to, he's very push the line forward. And it just clutches up so hard. You know what I mean? So, like, he's definitely someone that's gonna kind of give us back that kind of 22-23 shape. You know what I mean? That
Yeah.
helped us win the Premier League. That just like he just was like the prime mover, I guess, is the way you use it. Just like to move everything forward and um create the attack, so to speak. So this is definitely good news, definitely welcoming news. And yeah, you know what I mean? Can't wait to see Gundogan get re-announced, you know what I mean? And have that and have him in this lineup. Uh, uh I mean, that just come on, man. Like the Premier League and the Champions League, you know what I mean? Like that just like definitely increases our odds for
Oh
sure
yeah. Oh yeah.
of clinching, you know what I mean? So
We just
um
we just have to find our backup for the forward position, and we're pretty much set. And which what I'm hearing is that City's in the market for a forward.
yeah, with Oscar Bob being out for 5 to 6 months. So I believe it's a fractured ankle, a fracture
Mm.
is that's keeping him out of that. Oscar Bob was one of someone that showing a lot of promise last year, was on this preseason tour, was one of the starlets, you know what I mean, of this
Oh
US
yeah.
tour.
Oh yeah.
You saw him score a goal against Chelsea, and what we see now is him being injured, and that's kind of having City kind of hit the emergency button and going into the summer window still with some weeks, however many weeks left. I believe it's the end of August that we have to find a forward. Yeah, I haven't been paying attention to any rumors, Will, but who do you think that City could pick up before the window?
Mm, man, it's because the way City does their scouting is so weird. Because it's gonna be some young ass guy from South America that we don't fucking know, and they're just gonna bring him over here, and he's gonna be a star. But I would like to see a big name, somebody that's already here in Europe. You know what I mean? Maybe like what about like Victor Osimhen?
I actually did hear something that they were basically. I saw a post that they're basically telling Claudio Echeverri to be ready for the call. I guess is what
Whoa,
they're saying. Yeah,
really? I
yeah.
like that.
They're telling him like because I know they sent him out on loan to Girona, but the post is basically like Pep told Claudio Echeverri to be ready for a call to the first squad.
I
So
like that.
they sent him out on loan, but then they like, you know what, we actually need you in the first squad. So uh
I li-
you
I
know what I
like
mean?
that.
I think that makes more sense because like why do you need to go into the market and pay money for a high value forward, you know what I mean, that hasn't made a move yet
That's
this
true.
window, but then get someone like Claudio Echeverri who, we saw the highlights all last season, you know what I mean? Like the highlights from River Plate and stuff. And um he wanted to no, I think the situation is that Claudio Echeverri wanted to stay at River Plate. I think he wanted to stay at River Plate for the rest of the season because I think there's still some time in the Argentinian season. But basically was like, no, we are probably going to need you in the Premier League, so get ready. So I think that's a natural move because, like, like City, City have made a lot of good financial moves in the last like 2-3 years. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
we've gotten returns on players. we've promoted academy players and they flourished and stuff. I just think that it's more likely for City to probably go get someone from the academy or um, recall someone from loan to fill that missing spot in the lineup. You know what I mean? So
Mm, okay, that could work.
yeah. So we have Victor's in the chat saying get fucked. And then but Will, so I mean otherwise pretty slow news cycle, but what was anything that you wanna anything you wanna address right now?
I think it was just that Guno news that took over the world, bro, this week. Because that was just. It's good to see somebody come back, especially somebody that gave us big moments like that. You know what I mean?
Hmm. I
So
mean, yeah, Gundogan for sure was definitely the news. But we can get right into well, this also should be a moment that you can follow us at Hollywood Kippax, KIPPAX across all social media platforms. Hollywood Kippax official on Instagram, Hollywood Kippax on Facebook, YouTube, uh, TikTok, and Twitter. So we have plans to be at the Fox and Hounds for the West Ham game, not this
yeah,
Saturday, but next Saturday. Yeah,
next week.
yeah. So so have some plans coming up. We live stream for this last Sunday, so pay attention to when we are doing live streams, and you could get merch, George, at the in our link tree link in our bio that takes you to your T Public store. We still got designs up from last season, and so make sure to follow us all across there. But we do need to preview City's next matchup, which is this Saturday against Ipswich. So
Yes,
the newly
sir.
promoted Ipswich. It will be. Hold on. I'm trying to pull up and see if this is. Ipswich, and this is going to be where is it?
Oh
Home or
wait.
away? Away? No, it's home.
Oh wow, nice. Oh, I feel bad for them.
So City's home opener and against the newly promoted Ipswich. Ipswich lost to Liverpool 2-0 this last weekend.
Not
But
bad.
let's get into it. How is City going to line up against Ipswich?
I say we run it back the same way we did. Rodri's still not fucking able to play, so give that Kovacic that confidence. Let it carry on to the next match. Also with Rico Lewis, let it carry on to the next match. And maybe for a game of this caliber, we're probably gonna rest Savinho. You know what I mean? Let him rest because we have a big game against West Ham the next week. So this is how I will line it up. It being a game like that, let's get Jackie Boy in there because it's just that kind of game,
Yeah.
Or you want to switch it up, put Jack on the left, Halan on the right, and put Doku. I mean, no, it won't happen like that. I know it won't. So I'm just gonna be realistic. Jeremy Doku on the left, Erling Haaland in the middle, Phil Foden on the right. Give me Kovacic, Kevin De Bruyne. Is that five? Give me Kovacic, Kevin De Bruyne. Uh, fuck. Who else would you put there?
In midfield, Silva, Bernardo,
Yeah, probably Bernardo Silva. And then give me Nathan Ake, Ruben Diaz,
Guardiola.
Akanji. Oh well, or let Ake start. I think that's how it's gonna go. And then Rico Lewis on the right. That's how I would set it up for this game.
I think maybe Gavardi on the left. I think Ake could be starting center back. Akanji in there too, and then on the
Instead of
right,
Ruben Diaz,
Zinchenko. Yeah,
tripping.
no, dude.
Nah, not for a game like this, dog. I think you just love Gavardio way too much.
Why'd you have a jersey on? But right now. So I mean, but like Gavardio's pretty much a lock in that position, though. I feel like that's Pep's
Did we see did we see Nathan Ake start this week? Or was he a
uh
sub?
I didn't see I saw City subs,
Hmm.
but
I could
not
have
that I
swore
can
that he did
remember.
so. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're probably right.
Not that I can
Okay.
remember. So he typically doesn't sub out. Pep doesn't sub out center backs really. I mean,
Hmm.
unless you're injured, but he kind of subs out all the other pieces. But no, I mean, I like to see Ake play this game. But so yeah, I mean, more or less, the front attacking whatever six are pretty much on lock. So what's your prediction, Will?
Um, if Ipswich did 2-0 against the Liverpool side, that's pretty good. I'll keep it the same way and give it that old HK for sure bet, and I'm gonna say it's 3-1 City.
3-1. Okay. George Adapa says 4-1 and 4-1 City in the chat. I will. I don't know. I just said Hollywood Kippax safe bet so much last season, and it never hit. My prediction never hit. So it wasn't really a safe bet last season. Um, you know what? I'm gonna go out there. I'm just gonna say it's a 5-1 game. I'm gonna say I'm gonna
Sheesh.
say a 5-1 game. I say
Don't say
Halon
it. Don't.
brace,
Oh, okay. All right. All
Halon
right.
brace, Foden goal, and then you might see maybe like Doku score and um let's say Silva.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right. All right.
So it's gonna be a pretty high scoring game on
So
City's
five
part.
one, 4-1, and 3-1. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Not bad. Not bad.
Whatever. Go over the top, see if this one hits, because none of my predictions hit last season, and I need to come back. And I don't know. I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna bet. Well, I guess Baccarat. When you bet on the tie and he hits, you know what I mean. So it's like, well, it's not really a tie, but I don't know. Whatever. I'm trying to make a joke, but hit something pretty. Throw it out there, see if it hits. Right. Go
Yeah.
big. All right. So all right, Will. Bills bets. Do you got any Bills bets this week
Bills.
to share with us?
Bills bets. Okay. Well, on this one, it's a freaking lock for sure. So I would go a money line bet. Man City are probably like -7, -600. So you ain't getting really much after that. So going off of our bets that going off of our predictions that we say, I say you put a nice little $50 on Man City to go over 2.5, going over 2.5 goals. That's a lock for sure.
Okay. All right. Heard it here first. Uh, place your bets. All right. So I mean that pretty much wraps it up. City gets the win against Chelsea 2-0. Gundogan is all pretty much coming back, and we got Ipswich Town coming up next,
Yes, sir.
and roll on the Premier League. So, any other thoughts, Will, before we drop off?
No, keep it short and sweet, baby. I love it.
All right, 30-minute episodes. Y'all love to see it. All
Yeah,
right, this is the podcast your girlfriend tells you to not worry about, and this is the podcast that supports the best team in the land.
the best team in the world. Come on,
Come on,
City.
City.
Come
Come on,
on.
come
You
on.
know.
It's gonna be biblical. Come on.
Cacarella. No
Yes.
tiene buenas
Oh,
piernas.
nice.
Cacarella. Juega como mierda.
No.
Jalan cierra. La oferta de playera. Jalan cierra.
Uh,
Cucurella come tierra.
yeah.
Hell yeah,
I
brother.
will I will say this. It, I I had it in my mind that that shit would go viral, and
Hey, man.
it
Probably people got offended.
people got offended, but like that. To be honest, was gold. I'm proud of you for coming up with that. Will that was great. It deserves to go viral. Maybe it will go viral someday. You never know.
Hopefully it
Hopefully,
catches fire.
it catches fire. All right. Well, that's enough of us. Cheers. Have a good night.
See you next week.